Hello and welcome to a poorly lit DFS underscore PhD show for today, the 7th of December. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And congrats to $1 Million Bird. The reason I decided to make this is I wanted to make this point about the showdown a couple nights ago. It took a 0 on the day that was the conference tournament, in-season tournament, whatever. And that's huge and big news because that's like, you can't, it's hard. SaberSim doesn't consider lineups with a 0. You have to build someone in with a 0.01 in order for them to be considered. So just so you know how SaberSim works with a 0, you have to build guys in with zeros as options, which I didn't do for this draft. So let me go ahead and fix that for the next draft. But you get the general point. Like, you need to leave in the guys that are min price and have, I guess, some chance of playing ideally, which I didn't do. So let me go back and having now clarified to myself what I think will happen and how to get around it. So let's see. Of these guys who are min price, who is most likely to play? Oh, Nance is out. I was like, well, Larry Nance, definitely. Hood Shafino, maybe at point. JRE also. So, JRE is someone you can put in there. Hood Shafino is kind of close to the end of the bench. I think I saw Demois Hodge, Kira Lewis, they sometimes throw in there for weird reasons. So, these are guys that you can throw in to give yourself the option of a 0, right? So now that I throw them in the pool, I go back and we rerun it. Now it will consider lineups with a 0, where before it didn't consider lineups with a 0. Also, it didn't look like it got to very many lineups with the geo mean of ownership. So we might have to relax that. Anyway, so my main point is that was weird to me. It's this is regular season. It's unusual to find actual playoff style stuff, but we have it. And so for today's games, pretty simple stuff and pretty short show anyway. So play with guys from the first games. Generally, that's the game. Play it from. Let me check all my exposures. Now Torian Prince. Wow, 1.4% owned. That's weird. He played 27 minutes in the last game. I guess he didn't score very much, but I mean, he has upside. That's nuts. If he really is 13, I mean, I'm not going to be 100%, but am I going to be like maybe core Torian Prince? I guess, if nobody else is. I have a rule. I have a number of rules. Let me say our rules. Well, that's not. Oh, settings are here. Like, that's all the lineups. Okay, so Mac, I decided to add this rule that we have for who's that other backup? Naz Reid. So we have Naz Reid backing up both the 4 and the 5 for Minnesota, and I think that's what Portis is doing with Giannis and BroLo. So I added that rule so that just like we have max 2 out of 3 for the Minnesota wing centers, we have that now for Giannis, BroLo, and Portis. And then max 2 out of 4 these LA wings: Rui, Cam, Torian Prince, and Jared Vanderbilt. Yep, that sounds good. And I need to I had 2 out of 4. I forgot somebody in that rule when I went to the showdown. So let me go fix that right quick. Now that I see the other guy, I think who's the other guy? Reddish? Is Reddish the person I didn't include over here? Nope. Torian Prince. Torian Prince is the guy I didn't include over here. All right, Torian Prince. You get included with the rule. And then really, I have to include everybody. So that's Reddish and Hachimura as utility, and then captain Jared Vanderbilt and Torian Prince. Because you have to include the captain version and the utility version for now, at least. Okay, so that rule is going and building in the background. And we go back over to the classic slate, where we have talked about our rules that we have here. I actually, you know what? That's not a bad rule to add to the main slate too. So we saw when we went to the games yesterday, the last game, Jaxson Hayes played every minute that AD didn't. They add up to 9 plus 39. Yeah, that's 48. So if you think AD gets in foul trouble, it's a Jaxson Hayes fork. So you can do that if you want. I included that in the showdown lineups for sure. You probably want to keep the AD foul trouble in real life as well. So let's find if I have it already. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, no. Then let's add a new rule, AD foul trouble. It's a group rule. Use max one player or no more than one out of. And then I go find the guy, probably easiest to find AD. And then I Google Jaxson Hayes. And I also set Jaxson Hayes to getting in the game minutes, points, whatever. Apply, save the rule, X him out, click him in. Oh, don't X out Giannis. Jaxson Hayes is in the pool. Let's see, with 15% max exposure, because I don't think it's that likely that he gets in foul trouble. But I do also need to make sure this is New Orleans. Yep. So I need to make sure I have Giannis treated. JoVal foul trouble. JV Nance fork is not quite right. But who did I have on Showdown? That was the backup, Cody Zeller. They can't go. They're not playing against a small. I mean, Sacramento's not small, but I think it's more likely that Cody Zeller gets the actual backup 5 run here. So what's the odds that JV gets an early foul trouble? That's the amount of Cody Zeller that you want to keep on your team. I think the odds is like, man, 15%, something like that. So reasonable. Today, there's just so little to do. If he's really going to be 0% owned, that's not appropriate. He should be at least 0.5%. I bet he will be 0.5%. I bet Jaxson Hayes will be 0.5%. But in any case, those guys are both fine backup plays. Neither one's that great. Slightly prefer Jaxson Hayes just because he's a better defender or whatever. Like he's a better player-ish. Slightly more likely to actually see minutes. Okay. Do I have anything else to say? Obviously, let's look at the best plays. Yep. Cam Reddish played a tremendous number of minutes in the last game. I'm not sure exactly what went on there, but if he's really going to play 30 minutes in a game, Taurean Prince, 27 minutes, we have to price them for that and their possible upside for that. So this was not, I'm not going to probably be 85% Cam Reddish, but I'm fine being 35% Cam Reddish. Trey Murphy, yeah, I'm still not sure what Trey Murphy's minutes are going to be like. What were they last game? 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of minutes. Why is he not projected for more points? Okay. Well, I'm happy with that projection then. And I'm also happy with him being core. So we're going to have a lot of Trey Murphy. We're going to have a lot of Giannis. We're going to have a lot of, looks like Taurean Prince and Miles Turner. Trey Murphy, Obi Toppin, also a good value. He's going to be out there a lot in a game with a lot of points. So got to have interest in him. I think Rui, you can take a dart throw. They love this kid. He could get extended in a heartbeat in an important game. So 60% again, I'd rather not. Coin flip though, to me, if they go Rui, if they go one of these other wings, so coin flip's fine. Definitely fine with having a lot of Obi Toppin, having a lot. Yep. Okay. So I won't have exactly these exposures, but these rank order is roughly my preferences. Now let's go on to Showdown. Still not really getting enough lineups here. I don't know what's going on. It must be my geomean of ownership. Yeah. So let me do an unrestricted version where I clone this build and then I turn off the rule and I run it. Just to see like where the natural set of lineups winds up. So I set the same rules just so you guys know. Max 2 LA wings, JoVal foul trouble, and AD foul trouble, because for the Showdown slate, that's all that matters. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I think it's important that you leave in some of these guys at 0.1. So not the ones that are slightly higher priced and not actually get in the game. The guys who you really don't think will get in the game. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's Matt Ryan could be pulled. Like if everybody's missing shots, maybe they pull out a Matt Ryan. Is Dyson Daniels hurt? Oh, why is he on there? I don't understand. He had to, right? He played the last game. Oh, only 6 minutes. Wow. Okay. And he must have come in only when somebody else got in foul trouble. Well, that's surprising. Well, okay. Well, don't play Dyson Daniels for sure. Don't play Christian Wood for sure. Also after last game. Geez. But yeah, who are the best values as a result of all these weird changes I've made? Jared Vanderbilt, Cody Zeller, Rui Hachimura, JV, LeBron. Oh yeah, up at the top, I don't want LeBron to be projected for more than AD. I just don't. Yeah, he did do well last game, but I think it's still more appropriate to their long-term abilities to make AD a slightly better player than LeBron, and like just has a higher upside on any given slate. So I is that, I mean, what's going on with court IQ this year? Is that true? Lakers. I gotta get out of here pretty soon. So if this thing doesn't finish running, I'll put it in the Discord. Lakers this year, AD outscoring LeBron. I don't understand how you would project otherwise. It's just not what's happened this year. So I mean, I have to double check sometimes. Be like, am I not watching the games? What do you? So let me make sure also on the main slate that I project the guy who normally scores more to score more. I mean, I know that. So one reason that would be different is that's a minute adjusted rate. And so AD doesn't get as many minutes, but that's just saying that AD gets in foul trouble sometime. And I'm already handling the AD gets in foul trouble sometime, right? So I don't want to handle the AD gets in foul trouble sometimes twice. That's why I have the fork. It looks so weird lit like this. I got to figure out what's going on with that light up there. In the daytime, you can't tell something's wrong because the light comes in the window. But can't make this in the daytime now. Yep, these are the four captains. You play the four guys. Oh, okay, so I did 150 just to see where I get with the weird choices. So obviously your main captains for the showdown are AD, LeBron, Brandon Ingram, JoVal. But then I do get 8% of these weird captains. So like a Jared Vanderbilt dart throw or a Cody Zeller dart throw in the case of like foul trouble. And then let's see how many of these. I want to see if we get any of these point ones. Look at that, 4% point ones. I love it. So taking a 0 is in 4% of your lineups. I think that's probably about right. I think I probably will take a 0 in one of my 20 as well. I'm not going to run 150. I just like to see what a 150 maxer would or should be doing with my set of rules. Okay, so that's about all for today. Let me go make some breakfast. And remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us on this weird slate. It's got to be somebody.